Hi there. Well, here I am on the other side of the country, all the way to Kamloops, BC. Well, let's just see. What can I talk about today? It has come to my attention that a few people were interested in my views on, black and white conversion. And in that, really I have to break it down to a few different categories. So, hang on, and if that's what you're interested in, hopefully this will be of interest. All right, first of all, we have how to get black and white in camera. First of all, of course, the obvious one is to buy a monochrome camera, one that records only in black and white. Now, that comes with some big advantages. First of all, because it is simply recording the light at each pixel, you don't have the slight loss of resolution you get when it's trying to interpolate between the 4 color pixels in a normal bare array. Now, for anybody who's not into the technical stuff, basically what I'm saying is that you have 4 color filters for each to combine to make each color that you can see. The result is that you don't get the 100% of each individual pixel, which you do in a monochrome camera. Okay, so we've got a plus. What would a minus be? Well, in post-processing of a color digital file, you can use color sliders to determine how light or dark different colors will appear in your black and white result. So if you want darker skies, you might use an orange or yellow filter. If you want brighter greenery, you might use a green filter. There are a lot of different combinations of filters that will give you different levels of contrast. You can be pretty extreme. You could take, for instance, a red car. If you take a picture of it with a red filter, it will appear almost white. If you take a picture of it with an opposite filter, something like a blue filter, then it will appear very, very, very dark, almost black. Now, if you know how to use filters and you have the filters, works perfectly. But if not, you are basically just going to get an average black and white that has, you can still use the contrast sliders and the brightness and of course the highlights and shadows to get the particular contrast you want, but you can't really do the color manipulation that you can if you start with a color file. So there we go. Pluses, minuses. Would I want a monochrome camera? Absolutely. But they are very limited. Right now, other than some of the Leica models, a Pentax DSLR, and I believe now the Ricoh GR has a monochrome version. Other than that, I can't think of any right off. There was an old Kodak-based digital SLR from around 2000 that was only black and white, but that was a very limited run and a very expensive camera in its day. Okay, so we're done with the camera. Now, what happens in post-processing? Well, let's keep it simple. First of all, what I normally do is play with the color image till it looks the way I like the color image to look. Then I convert to black and white. And when I do, I go into the color sliders and you have red, green, and blue. By moving the red, green, and blue, you can, as I said, manipulate those particular colors. If you were to go up with the reds, for instance, you would have very pale faces for the most part. If you were to go up with the greens, some other colors would look very dark. Now, you have to experiment with this. Me giving you a list doesn't work. You go online, you can find all sorts of examples of how to do this. I'm merely pointing out the fact that that is how to adjust your contrast based on the colors you see. Sometimes if you just go a straight black and white conversion, some completely different colors will look exactly the same because their relative luminance is exactly the same. So what do you have to do then? By using the color sliders, you can make one lighter, the other darker, and the result is that now you have contrast, you have separation. All right, now let's look at the philosophy of it all. A lot of people say, well, why bother with black and white? We can make excellent color images. Why would we want black and white? We lose all that color information. And the answer to that is not that complicated. Black and white inherently, because it abandons color, is really an abstract. Black and white photography is, in a sense, a form of abstract photography. The method and the purpose can result in all sorts of things. For instance, if you're taking a picture of an older person and you want to emphasize the textures of their face, black and white is excellent for that. If you're taking pictures of old structures, and again, texture is your main point, black and white works really well for that. So black and white works for textures. Other places black and white works is where backgrounds are very distracting because of a multiple of colors. This multitude of colors ends up confusing the viewer. In some cases, we can use black and white so that there is no longer, for instance, a strong red in the background or a strong blue or some other primary color that really shouts for you to look at it. And the result is your attention goes back to the subject, which is probably a somewhat neutral, like a human face. Anyhow, this is just, as I said, a tiny little snippet of what to do about black and white. And I'm just hoping that this video gives me a chance to at least get back on YouTube. I apologize to those people who actually do view my videos regularly. I know, haven't been around much. But remember, I may have mentioned in an earlier video that we are living a rather nomadic lifestyle these days. We spend a portion of the year at our home in St. John's, Newfoundland, where we have 2 sons. We spend a portion of the year at a beach in New Brunswick, where we have lots of relatives. And we spend a portion of the year in Kamloops, BC with another son. The result is that hobbies like YouTube, and this is a hobby for me. I mean, I'm definitely not making any money on YouTube, and I have no intentions of, trying to build a super large following. Instead, I just enjoy telling people about things that I know a little bit about. No, I'm not an expert. No, I don't know everything about color. No, I don't know everything about black and white. But the couple of little things that I just pointed out hopefully will help some of you get started. And a little research on your own can take you a long way. So folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. It'd be nice if you left a comment or a like to just let me know you're out there. And who knows when it's going to be, but bye for now.